Okay, greetings. This is the third battle report of the day. It's going to be, we're doing the same control scenario with the same table setup. It's going to be my Empire of Dust versus Terrainaholic's Forces of the Abyss, 2250. What are your thoughts? This is like your now what, second or third game of third edition?
Not a fan of what they did to my army, but everybody's saying that, I'm sure. So as long as everybody's unhappy, that means everything's equal, and thus let's just go forward.
Listen to my podcast and we'll talk about equal and not. But anyway, so we'll be right back. We're going to go over the army, and you should already see the table set up. So we'll be back in a minute. Okay. Okay, so for today's table, starting with the lower left, we have a flat, difficult terrain. Above that on the left, we have a height 3 hill. Up at the top of the screen, we have a height 6 wood, difficult terrain. There, towards the center, we've got a tower with 2 obstacles. The tower is going to be height 5 blocking terrain. Towards the center at the bottom, we have a height 6 woods. Up above that, we have another flat piece of difficult terrain. Coming over from there, we have another height 3 hill. Stepping over from that, at the top, we have another flat piece of difficult terrain. And down in the lower right, we have a height 5 blocking piece of terrain. Okay, so here we go. We're going to go over Terrainaholic's Abyss Army. What do you have starting right here in the back? What's that?
Okay, I've got Abyssal Horseman.
Okay. Another Abyssal Horseman?
Another Abyssal Horseman. This one is Brew of Sharpness. Abyssal Guard, Abyssal Guard, Abyssal Guard, Abyssal Guard, Abyssal Guard, Abyssal Guard, Abyssal Guard.
Okay. You got 2 hordes?
I have 2 hordes. This one is Fire Oil, and then Brew of Sharpness.
Brew of Strength.
Or Strength.
Okay. The Giant there is Cronius.
Giant there is Cronius.
Behind him is your Warlock.
Warlock with Blood Boil and Bane Chant.
Okay.
And this one also has Bane Chant.
Yeah, that one has the Loot of Insatiable Darkness for Bane Chant. So that's your 2250. We'll be right back. We're going to go over the Empire of Dust. Okay, here we are going over my Empire of Dust. Here on the flank, I've got a regiment of skeletal archers, horse archers. They've got the Brew of Strength. Next to them is the Great Revenant King on Worm. He's got the brutal item. Behind him is a regiment of scavengers. Right here next to him is a regiment of chariots. They've got the Wine of Elvenkind, so they are nimble. Next to them, I've got 2 regiments of mummies. Behind them is a pharaoh with the Eternal Guard upgrade, so he gives them elite and melee. Next to them there is a horde of enslaved guardians. Behind them is Shobik. Next over in the front is a horde of revenants, no upgrades. Behind them is a cursed high priest with the conjurer staff, and he's got heal and surge. And next to them is another regiment of scavengers. Now we already rolled to see who goes first. Terrainaholic has the first turn, so we'll be right back. Okay, here we are, the end of the Forces of Abyss turn 1. What did you have going on here?
Just a little bit of repositioning and moving forward.
Everybody moving forward? Okay, pretty simple. We'll be right back after the Empire of Dust turn 1. Okay, here we are, the end of the Empire of Dust turn 1. Well, basically this scavenger regiment just did a pivot and at the doubled out to there. Both these 2 units, they're nimble. They both advanced to get to there. They double shotted at this troop of Abyssal Guard, did 1-1 to him. The Revenant King basically did a pivot to move a normal move to end up there. My whole front line here advanced 5 inches, and so that was it. Oh, and the scavengers there did a pivot and at the doubled over that way. We'll be right back after the Abysses turn 2. Okay, here we are, the end of the Forces of Abyss turn 2. What happened over here on this flank?
Just broaden my frontage and
so pivots and moves over here to face.
Yep,
square up. Moving there.
Yep.
These guys just came forward.
Yep.
And so there's no shooting. We'll be right back after turn 2 for the... Okay, here we are, the end of the Empire of Dust turn 2. Basically, the scavengers did a pivot and at the double to be way over there. These guys just shifted over, took some shots at the unit over here, didn't do any damage to it. I had a combi charge, the Revenant King in the flank, and these guys in the front. I got them up to 17, rolled snake eyes. This mummy regiment charged into a troop there, routed them. This enslaved guardian horde charged into another troop, routed them. This horde of Revenants did a hindered charge into another troop of Abyssal Guard and routed them. So that's what we're looking like. We'll be right back. Oh, these guys just moved up for positioning. Oh, excuse me, the Scavenger Regiment over there did a pivot and flew way up there. So we'll be right back after 3.
Double.
All right, here we are, the end of the Abyssal's turn 3. And basically, what'd you do coming over here on this side?
Flank charge, front charge.
Flank charge there. You did a counter charge here.
Counter charge
back to 9. Over here, these guys just moved up out of the way. Side steps. You had 2 Bane Chants going on here.
Yep.
These guys pivoted to move to make room for your horse to come in and charge here.
Yep.
You did the Cloak of Death, took a wound to all 4 of these units. With the damage you did, including you weren't able to break, you did the flank charge here, you only did 2 wounds. The counter charge here, you did a total of 1. You got them up to a 3, but then they Iron Resolve back down. These guys charging here, they were Bane Chanted, got me up to 6. I Iron Resolve down to 5. Cronius charged in here, got me up to 6. Iron Resolve down to 5. Here, this hindered charge in here got me up to a 6. Iron Resolve down. So that's it for turn 3. We'll be right back with the Empire of Dust turn. All right, here we are, the end of the Empire of Dust turn 3. The Scavenger Regiment over there just did a pivot move to position to threaten over there, the rear and the flanks of some stuff. Here we did a combined charge on the troop of Abyssal Guard there. We routed them, moved back an inch here, moved back 3 inches here. Here we did a counter charge, got them up to 4, didn't break them. Here we did a counter charge on the regiment, the troop that was there. We went ahead and broke them. These guys charged in here, we're only able to do 1 wound, but okay. Here we did a counter charge with the Enslaved Guardian Horde, got him up to an 8, didn't break him. Here we did a counter charge, got them up to 11 and wavered them. Doesn't matter because they have Fury. These guys just moved up. Here we were able to heal and then Life Leech. Here we were able to heal and then Life Leech to get them down to 0. That Scavenger Regiment that was over there just pivoted, moved to get into threatened rear arcs and flanks over here. So that's the end of the turn 3 for the Empire of Dust. We'll be right back after the Abyssal's turn 4. Okay, here we are, the end of the Empire of Dust turn 4. Well, the counter charge here, I took that unit out. I did a counter charge here, got him up to 2 wounds, didn't do anything. Counter charge with the dragon, I took that troop out. These 2 did a combined charge on the regiment that was here, routed them and moved into position as you see there. This counter charge on the Cronius took it out. Combined charge here took out that horde. They pivoted to face like that. Those guys just moved backwards. And these guys charged the rear of that cavalry unit there, got them up to 2. Right now, Terrainaholic has 3 units left. He's got this regiment, this horde, and this warlock. So he's going to call it. We're going to call it at turn 4. So we'll be right back to give a synopsis. Okay, well, that's the end of my 3rd battle for the day. Empire of Dust was able to get 2 wins in. What do you think about your Abyss army?
I like it less than the last inception of it, but I had totally written off the Abyssal Guard, and I mean, obviously the troops evaporated like nothing, but I think if I would have ran with regiments, which wouldn't have been a whole lot more points, because I went with like 7 troops. I think I could have gotten away with 6 regiments.
Okay.
Because they're not that much more expensive.
Okay.
And maybe not take imps for all of them like I did. Because they do have regen. And
okay.
It's not all, you don't always have bad regen rolls. I had lots of really good regen rolls throughout the game.
Yeah.
So you just gotta, it's kind of luck. Do you have it where you need it when you want it?
From a standpoint of if we were playing kill, I could see kind of doing what you did. You took that multiple small unit army type thing. Based off of the control though, since you way outdropped me, you could have, instead of bunching all your small units up together,
and I got in my way
because that was the
a lot.
problem. You got in your way a lot. You could have on my right flank over there. You could have put a couple of units over there just to zip up. You could have claimed 2 quarters that I would have had to either go deal with,
and then actually start threatening things.
Yeah, you just could have set one troop in each of those quarters. I had nothing that could have went over there. I would have had to really do some shuffling around of my units to be able to deal with them. You could have sat over there and easily had 2 of the victory points, and then it would have made, then we're just fighting over this. You're at an advantage and I'm at a disadvantage trying to fight you. So yeah, multiple small units, I guess that's still a thing, but when you do it, you have to really look at the table and look at how you're laying your stuff down so that you don't overbunch yourself up.
It's kind of nice to have multi-layered threats.
Yeah.
Especially like height 2, height 3.
Height 3.
Or are they both height 3?
Yeah.
So at that point, provided you get the width,
yeah,
there's a lot of multiple charge options.
That was one of the options, like I said, because he jammed himself up. He had situations where he could see with lots of units, but because of the way things were lined up, being able to charge him, he wouldn't have been able to fit everybody.
Right.
I kind of had a situation like that too, going the other way, trying to double up on some of his small units. So there were some I just left alone because, I only did a single charge on some and left some others alone altogether because there was no need to, because he couldn't get his stuff in fast enough. So that was just, a deployment issue, which I'm sure he'll look at the video. And as he said, he's going to trade up his units a little bit to go regiments instead of troops. It'll be something worth seeing. I'm glad to look at it. Of the units you had in your army, which one do you think performed the best?
Probably the cavalry.
Your cavalry? Yeah, you got me up to 8 on the one time with the Bane chant, but weren't able to bring it home.
It's not even the lethality; it's the mobility.
Okay.
And the ability. I mean, I don't agree with the points cost, but the ability to be defense 5 with a regen is great, and 18 attacks isn't bad either. I have a lot of questions about the way they allotted points.
Yeah.
But I think everybody's got that.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair assessment.
This is your second or third edition game, and this is your second game, and you've changed up your list from the last time. So you're learning. We're all learning, getting used to the rules. So yeah.
Right.
But overall,
I've made rookie mistakes too, because I was looking at the Abyssal Guard, and I'm like, why don't they have Furious?
Yeah.
And they have Fearless, so Furious is completely irrelevant.
Fury, yeah.
So, you have to really look at your army, and I'm sure there's lots of things that I'm not even coming close to optimizing. Jerry's much quicker at finding very highly effective ways of using his army.
Yeah. Well, I think my standout, I like Shobik in this.
And he didn't even do anything. That's what's so funny about Shobik.
Actually, he did. Shobik,
he did a ton of support.
He did the Iron Resolve, and he did a lot of good healing.
And he never touched a unit.
And which is really kind of cool. Based off how things worked, there was no reason. I could have. Well, actually, no, I couldn't, because there was not enough room for me to get in. But I didn't mind that, because you had to hit me head on. You weren't able to get any of my flanks. There was no need for me to bring him in. And even with my dragging up on the hill, that troop that got locked in there, he couldn't fit anything else. So that guy, one-on-one, I wasn't worried about him doing anything either. So, but I like Shobik. I didn't play with him a lot in the second edition. Third edition, it's something new, something different. I had only these two.
Iron Resolve is always good.
Iron Resolve is nice. Without my Guardian Archers. If I would have had Guardian Archers in this, I would have played this a little differently. So, it's good to mix up and try a few different things so you don't play the same exact thing. And it's nice to make a list that's versatile. You don't want to have a list that can only play to one thing, especially if you guys are talking about wanting to go to a tournament. The more variety you can play against with the same list, and try to optimize to see how to play to actually know how your army works, the better off you are.
What do you think of the 3-pillar approach, where you've got infantry, cavalry, projectiles. That seems to be the three pillars that all.
Well, you know what?
I mean, you can go heavy with war machines, but that's
anything works. That three pillar. I mean, I think to have a balanced game, you should have a little of everything. But there are some people that want to take an all shooting force.
I'm very partial to all infantry.
All infantry for going for melee, that's fine. But once again, you have to know how your army works. You have to know how, based on what the table looks like, when you lay your units down. Because if you get jammed up with terrain or jammed up with your own units, your melee's not going to be that effective. So,
and especially when you see the frontage. I guess I technically had a slight advantage in that my frontage was smaller than his was, but it worked to his advantage because he was able to bring more formations to bear than I was able to counter with.
Yeah.
I was real happy in the fact that I stopped until virtually the end of the game all of the side charges, mostly, and that's absolutely critical when you're fighting an undead army. Undead armies, once they start getting flank charges in, that's usually when it's the end of the game for you, or a really painful downhill run.
Okay. Well, I'm sure we'll be doing some other games here soon, and we have some other stuff in the works, but this is a third. I hope you guys enjoy these 3 videos when I get them up to look and see, different play styles, different tactics we use, because this is my second game. Bob earlier, he got 2 games in, so and then Greg had his, so there was all of us used basically some different styles and different tactical
acumen.
Thank you, that we were going through. Okay, that's good. Acumen that we were going for. So look at the 3 videos. I hope you guys give me some good feedback on them. Let me know if you like, what you didn't like. We do have the Ultimate Power Gaming podcast up now on Podbean, so love to follow that. Take a listen. So that's it for now. See you next time.
Take care.
Bye.